Matthew Adams was one of the most powerful and respected men in the entire city. People spoke his name with pride. Some said his wisdom built half of the businesses in the country. Others said his kindness fed thousands of families. He owned hotels, tech companies, real estate, and a successful logistics company that operated across borders. When Matthew walked into a room, everyone stood up. But inside his beautiful mansion, hidden behind golden walls and expensive furniture, Matthew carried a heavy sadness. The sadness had names: Natasha and Susan, his two daughters. They were his only children. He loved them deeply, but he was worried. Very worried. Natasha, the older one, was 25. She was tall, beautiful, fashionable, and always busy taking pictures for social media. She liked expensive clothes, shiny phones, designer bags, and anything that made her feel more important than others. Susan, 23, was softer and sweeter, but she followed her sister in everything. If Natasha wanted to travel, Susan would pack her bags. If Natasha wanted to party, Susan would join. If Natasha said working was stress, Susan agreed. Both of them had graduated from one of the best universities in the world. But they didn't study well. They spent most of their time in shopping malls, beach resorts, and luxury restaurants. They graduated with low results, but Matthew did not complain. He believed in giving his children love, patience, and second chances. His wife, Helen, made the problem worse without knowing it. She was elegant, beautiful, and proud. She grew up in comfort, and she believed her daughters deserved the same. She never allowed them to cook, clean, or do anything difficult. "My husband is wealthy," Helen always said. "My daughters must enjoy life. They will never suffer." Matthew kept quiet for many years, hoping the girls would grow up and change. But instead they became more relaxed, more careless, more spoiled. One afternoon, Matthew returned home tired after a long meeting. He had discussed a very important contract with foreign investors. He expected to rest. Instead, he walked into the living room and found Natasha and Susan lying on the couch, laughing loudly as they scrolled through their phones. Shopping bags were everywhere. Food plates were on the table. The TV volume was loud. Matthew looked at them and sighed. "Natasha, Susan, can we talk?" They looked up slowly, as if he was disturbing their peace. "Dad, can it wait?" Natasha asked. "I'm checking new handbags. There is a sale." Susan nodded quickly. "Yes, Father, we are busy." Matthew felt something inside him break. "Stand up," he said quietly. The girls looked confused, but they obeyed. Something in his voice told them he was serious. Helen walked in at that moment, smiling. "Honey, what is it? Why does your face look like that? Did something happen at work?" "No," Matthew said. "The problem is not work. The problem is my home." The room became silent. He looked at his daughters one by one. "Natasha, Susan, are you proud of the life you are living?" They exchanged glances. "Father," Susan said softly, "why are you asking that?" "Answer me," Matthew repeated. Natasha lifted her chin proudly. "We love our life. It's sweet, it's comfortable. We don't stress." Matthew nodded slowly. "And what about work?" Natasha laughed. "Work? Father, why should we work? You are one of the wealthiest men in the city. We don't need jobs." Susan added, "If you die now, we will inherit everything. So why should we bother ourselves?" Helen gasped softly. "Girls, that's not a nice thing to say." But her tone was weak. She didn't truly disagree. Matthew felt his heart drop. He looked at his daughters with pain in his eyes. "I sent you both to school. I begged you to take your studies seriously. You both graduated with low results, but I forgave you. I even planned to give each of you one of my companies to manage. But instead of preparing yourselves, you rely on my money like children." Natasha rolled her eyes. "Father, nobody trained us to work. You and Mother gave us soft life. We love expensive things. We can't change now." Susan smiled as if it was a joke. "Yes, Father, we enjoy comfort. We are not built for stress." Those words hit Matthew like a stone. He closed his eyes for a long moment. When he opened them, his decision was already forming deep inside his heart, a decision that would change all their lives. Matthew walked away without another word. Helen waited for him to calm down, but she felt something different this time, something final. Natasha whispered, What's wrong with Dad today?" Susan shrugged. Maybe he's tired. But deep inside, they both felt a small fear they could not explain. Upstairs in his study, Matthew sat alone. His hands covered his face. How did I fail as a father? He remembered the days he had nothing, no food, no bed, no parents. He worked day and night to build his empire. He wanted his daughters to enjoy a life better than his. But now they had become the opposite of what he dreamed. Lazy, proud, dependent, blind. That night Matthew did not sleep. He stared at the ceiling until morning, thinking of a solution. The trouble started the next morning. Matthew arrived at his office and his secretary rushed to him, holding several papers with a worried face. She said, "Sir, the bank called. 4 checks were withdrawn yesterday. Each one had your signature. A total of $340,000. Matthew frowned. "What for?" She handed him the slips. 4 Hermes Birkin bags, $85,000 each. The bank compared the signature with your records and approved it. Matthew felt his stomach twist. He knew he never signed any check. Someone had copied his handwriting. He drove home immediately. When he entered Natasha's room, he found Natasha and Susan jumping excitedly around 4 brand-new Birkin bags. The bags gleamed like trophies. As soon as they saw him, both girls froze. Matthew lifted the checkbook from the table and showed them the missing pages. "Who forged my signature?" Natasha tried to smile. "Dad. It was not a big deal. We only copied it. Your signature is easy." Matthew's eyes widened. "You copied my signature to take $340,000 from my account. You forged a check just to buy handbags." Susan shrugged. "But father, you are wealthy. Why are you angry? You can replace the money."